Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are back again. We are back. It is 9 o'clock, just gone. And we've got an interview with Martin Froggett now. He's going to basically just tell us a little bit about what the Community Impact Project is and what his job role has been at the YM and basically how he's got involved, how he likes it, all that sort of stuff. Have a bit of a chat with him, learn about what he does, learn about how the YM's cope through the coronavirus, and we'll go from there, really. So, hello, Martin. How are you doing? Can you hear us, Martin?
I can hear you loud and clear, Owen. Yeah,
awesome stuff. Me? Yeah, not bad, not bad. So basically, just tell us a bit about what you do at the YM then for us, please.
Crikey, it's an open question, isn't it?
It is. What's your job role, first of all?
So my job is development manager, which essentially means trying to identify different opportunities, different needs within the community, and then trying to find ways of connecting things up and getting it to happen. So working to build collaboration with other organisations, working to start new projects, working to just try and grow the YM and what it does.
Awesome. So have you got any projects on the go at the moment then? There's been mention of this community impact project.
Yeah, so we've a few of the existing work has continued. So we've continued our Children in Need project. We've continued our work with Ignite. So Ignite is a social action project for younger people. So we're getting the young people involved into Scarborough in whatever that they see fit. So before Christmas, they were involved in the shoebox appeal. So getting loads of donations, getting loads of gifts together, and they delivered 23 shoeboxes, I think it was in the end, to younger people around Scarborough. So that was great. And then, so now we've kind of changed it up a little bit and decided they wanted to write letters to people who are self-isolating and vulnerable. So we've had a little bit of that.
Nice one.
So that's really fantastic. So that project's continuing. And then in response to the coronavirus outbreak, we started a community support organisation with Mind and with Age UK. So the three organisations there. Age UK are the lead organisation. And so we've been working with them to meet the various community needs. So that's stuff like getting shopping for people, delivering food parcels for people, getting vouchers, picking up prescriptions for people who can't go out and get them. So we've been doing a lot of delivering the prescriptions. Recently there was a book exchange was started. So people who are a bit bored or they read everything they've got on the bookshelf, books have been going out to them. And then people who are a bit isolated or just want to chat, we've been pairing them up with volunteers to speak to them. So they've been getting regular phone calls from volunteers. So that's it. Awesome. In a nutshell.
Nice. So I'm talking about them projects then. With it being coronavirus and everything changing in the world at the moment, are you finding it difficult at work to sort these projects out? Are they working well? Are they a struggle? Been challenging, anything like that?
Yeah, it's really different. It's different. Everything's different. So, for example, youth place. So young people would come in, and sort of very, very building orientated. So everything's not that obviously. So yeah, we've had to really change everything. So Ignite has gone online. So we're doing weekly calls there. We've changed how we work with children in need. So we're doing an activity on a Thursday, which is more around well-being.
Yeah.
So we've talked about younger people's well-being. We've talked about how to schedule a day, how to plan a bit of routine and all these sort of things, because we've seen a real sort of impact on mental health from coronavirus. A lot of anxiety around school, when school's going to start again, or if it's not going to start again. I thought it'd be the best news in the world, to be honest. I would have loved that when I was at school. But
I know, so would I. They all seem to want to go back, don't they?
It's happened. Yeah, they want to go back. They want to take their exams and all that sort of stuff, which is, you can understand, can't you?
Yeah, it's challenging for them as well, isn't it?
Super challenging, yeah. So everything we had to start. So the coronavirus support thing we had to start from scratch. So that was a huge amount of work to get that set up, to get all the forms in place for collecting information for people who wanted to volunteer, but also getting the information for people who wanted shopping. but we've been getting some. At the start we're getting about 500 calls a week from people needing support, and we're up to about 300 volunteers now. So that we're building all the infrastructure to be able to support that was a huge piece of work. And yeah, so we had to act really quickly, basically. But it's working. It's more plain sailing now. But yeah, it's been really challenging.
Yeah, it sounds it. In terms of Ignite, then, are you looking to continue that online for the time being, or are you looking to try and get that back into a social group and into real life again at some point soon?
As soon as we can, really.
Yeah.
I mean, the guidance at the moment is 6 people can meet and but distanced, and we can't really work it. I don't think we could. We're looking in a few months' time to potentially do things. We could do them at the beach, or we could do them outdoors. Or I mean, obviously the Wyme's ginormous, so we could scatter ourselves fairly easily around there. So yeah, I mean, as soon as we can get back to face to face, we will. But yeah, it's been interesting going online. I think at first a lot of people thought it was just a means to an end, just kind of a way of surviving while we couldn't do anything else. But it's a really valid method for me.
Yeah.
Like I've worked a lot with online stuff in the past, and it's a good way of doing stuff. Not for everything, but so we might continue a bit of a sort of a blend of facing online, or we don't know. We need to work with the young people and see what they're up for,
Yeah, that's
what they like.
if they want to stay online, then that's kind of your market, I guess, isn't it? Just try and please them and entertain them as you can.
Definitely. This week we had an online meeting setting up a Scarborough Youth Council. So it was the first meeting of the Scarborough Youth Council. So that was on Zoom, and it was great. It was great to see people from different organisations all together, all chatting away. Younger people have sort of they're all digital natives. They're all fluent in it. So it was easy for them. And older folk are getting used to it now because I've had to. So yeah, it worked well.
Nice one. So what are your sort of next things to? Have you been having a good time in lockdown? Have you managed to achieve anything interesting?
In lockdown?
Yeah, yourself personally. We're not talking about work now. Just anything interesting you could tell us that you've achieved done.
God, I've spent a lot of time in my garage. I've brought my desk from work and put it in the garage, which is where I am now. So that's been interesting. It's a lot tidier than it was. That's an achievement.
Yeah.
No, I've been out cycling a bit. I've taken some annual leave this week, so I've been off, getting a taste of what it's like to be furloughed.
Yeah.
It's magic. It's been such sunny weather.
Yeah,
but no, I haven't.
You've not been out in the nice sunny weather sunbathing?
Been sunbathing, yeah. I got horribly burnt yesterday as well, Owen.
Lovely.
Went for a cycle around Dolby Forest.
Have you got anything you want to ask Martin, Liam?
Yeah, so obviously I know these answers because we work and share an office usually. But obviously I've been furloughed, so we've not worked together for quite a while. But
It's a good one.
What because obviously the listeners and the viewers may not know you. What's your background? What's your interests career-wise? What have you done?
Gosh, so flipping heck.
Mammoth question.
I haven't figured that out yet. I'm 36 now. I'll pick a career one day, I think. I just always wanted to kind of. I'm really interested in learning and learning personally, but also supporting other people in their learning. So, and trying to find ways to improve things and change things and enabling people to be able to do that for themselves as well. So, I think my background, I started. I did photography at uni. I thought, photography and art could make a difference and change people's opinions about things. Like, I was always interested in war photography and the impacts of all that sort of, you see an image of these horrendous things, but what does that do to you or not do to you? So anyway, I wanted to kind of get into the world that way. So I went traveling to take photographs. But at the same time, I did a teaching qualification so I could earn a bit of money while I was doing it in case I was a rubbish photographer. But I really loved teaching, so I started teaching English, and I taught in different countries around the world. and then I started mentoring teachers in primary schools in Malaysia, and absolutely loved that. So working one-on-one with people in that way and supporting them in their professional development. I did that for a while, and then got more into sort of project management and leading teams in Malaysia and then in Sri Lanka. And then I met my wife in Malaysia. She's from Derby, and then we decided to settle somewhere. So we picked Scarborough and came here. But I wanted to continue working in development. So I just finished my master's at the time. I wanted to keep working with people, with community, and try to support communities to be everything that they can be. Which it's been a difficult time, I think, for communities over the last 10 years or so with austerity and things. I think there's a lot of issues. I think a lot of communities are broken down.
Yeah, there's a lot of
builders,
bridges to build.
Bridges to build.
That's the one. I was trying to get it out. It's been a long night. It's been a very, very long night for me.
Yeah,
the words just have stopped flowing out of my mouth.
That's it. When we had the call, we were getting really tired and we're thinking, oh, we've not got that long to it's daytime. And Steve did his video and he said, halfway through, I thought, oh, this is only halfway. We've still got to go even further.
You've got a long way to go, chaps. You're doing amazing.
Thank you.
So I know that you spent a lot of time abroad, and we've chatted about this quite a lot in the office. Would you think that you would advise or recommend to young people to try and broaden their horizons and travel if they have the means and capability to do so?
Absolutely. I can't recommend it enough. Like, even if it's going to York or Leeds or, big old world. Like, it's so I first went traveling when I was 19, so before I went to university. So I finished my A levels. I got 2 full-time jobs. So I was working sort of 74 hours a week. Saved up all my money, flew to Thailand, started in Thailand, went on my own. Absolutely incredible. I can't recommend it enough. It's such an eye opener to travel and to live in different places, and all the you don't realize until you spend time in different places with different people that how much we assume, how much of the way we live our lives and how we interact with the world is goes unchallenged. It's just based on assumptions that that's the right way to do things, and it just totally changes you. Yeah, it's wonderful, and you soon get used to all the food and all that sort of stuff. I know that's a barrier for a lot of people.
That's a personal barrier that I've always found. But I'm trying to battle through it at some point to actually go somewhere.
Well, going back to Owen's earlier question about achievements in lockdown, I've made myself noodle soup every morning for a month.
I like it.
So that is an achievement.
That is very much.
I can't get enough of it.
What is your favourite food? You've travelled everywhere. What would be your favourite dish?
Favourite dish? Vietnamese noodle soup. It's unbelievable. So good. It's spicy. It's fresh.
You love your spice. I've heard a lot about you and your spices. Like, do you eat chilies like just out the jar in the office?
I love chilies. Love chilies. I've got my certificate somewhere for having the hottest curry in the world. Guinness Book of Records job.
That's mental. Mental.
Yeah.
We were going to.
It was painful.
We're going to get a chili for Steve to eat at some point because he wrote the quiz, didn't he? But chickened out.
Reaper chili.
Oh yeah. Those Reapers are naughty.
Apparently so.
Yeah, do a job on you.
Yes, yeah.
But I definitely recommend.
It was probably a good job that you did. I think a lot of people, and I would include myself in this, find a place to be that's comfortable and then don't move on. I think it's quite inspiring to think that actually there's somewhere else to travel. To broaden your horizons actually massively improves your quality of life and just the way you see the world, and especially in our industry, the charitable and community industry, that to get an appreciation of people's opinions from a broad spectrum is incredibly useful.
It's great. It's just so nice to travel and to see different things and to and like I say, it is a big world, and home can be where you are. It's not necessarily the people and the places. It's it's wherever you go, you'll meet new people and you'll be in new places, and it's I think home for me now is more a sense of well-being, and the people that you have around you. It's kind of a more of an internal thing than it is necessarily about the norms and the customs that you get used to. So yeah, and then of course if you do go traveling, you've always got Scarborough to come back to, which is an incredible place to live.
Yes,
It
yeah.
really
So you
is.
like that?
It's wonderful. It's
It can
wonderful.
be.
But there's not the best opportunity in Scarborough unless you carve them out yourself. Really,
Yeah,
it's taxing.
it can be.
It's
It can be
hard.
beautiful, but it can also be quite narrowing. You can't. There's not every opportunity out there in Scarborough. You've got to maybe move away to your city or something if you want to progress somewhere
There's really not.
in a certain
There's
way.
really not. But there's a lot of talk for the future. So I work on the town centre team, um, and it's an ever increasing part of what the conversation is how to improve the town for young people, how to make better opportunities there, how to attract different people to the town, how to get people to stay in the town rather than having to move away to cities. So new projects around developing skills, new projects around startups. So making Scarborough a bit more sort of 21st century literate,
Yeah,
and just changing the range of opportunities out there.
definitely.
So a question I asked a group of young people once that we had in the theatre, I forget why they were there now, was if we had unlimited amount of money and there wasn't building regs or anything like that, what would they
Yeah,
do to change the YM? And actually, it's well, not surprisingly, but very good, for want of a better adjective that I can't think of, was that a lot of theirs were to help our disabled audiences or our less accessibility,
yeah,
needs, accessibility needs that we currently may not be able to cater for because of the resources that we have. But
yeah.
I was interested to hear what you would do if you had unlimited money, not just for the theatre but for the whole building, and no building, like
Yeah,
dream outwards. What would you do to improve our way that we could help our community?
yeah. Gosh, a really good question. I've been thinking about it loads as well lately with everything that's happening. With us not being in the building, it's like, well, what would we do with the building if we were trying to fit it around everything that we'd like to do, rather than, it's been a really interesting pause moment. Um, I think if I had unlimited money, I think I would make it kind of a youth-led space. So get younger people in, ask them exactly what it is that they would want, and try and design it around their sort of hopes and dreams. So I think it would have like a space where younger people could come to, where there's like a non-transactional space. So they don't need to buy anything. They don't need to, they can just come in. They can hang out. It's safe. They can, and then there'd be perhaps different activities going on. But then there'd be different things there for younger people to get involved in. So there's a lot of talk around younger people wanting an indoor skate park. I don't know if the WAM's a perfect fit for that, but an indoor skate park would be incredible, and a lot of people get a lot of benefit from that. There's also, you see this place on the skate park point. There's like a place in Hull which is really cool. They've got like, you can do all this like bouldering and then skating, and then they've got a bit of climbing and stuff too. So that kind of thing would be great. Also, we're looking at having like a film factory, so younger people can learn how to do the sort of stuff you two guys are doing incredibly well here. So how to do live streaming, how to be a YouTuber, how to do all that sort of stuff. So a bit of a kind of techie thing, which would go alongside the theatre work really, really nicely. Um, you know, the, so yeah, those kind of projects would be really, really nice.
Yeah,
But I think
that
I
live
wanna,
streaming idea project is quite a good one, because we're not going to lie. We had to set this up from Wednesday. It's been quite a mammoth task, trying to get people into the studio, trying to do all these bits. Obviously, we're quite lucky because we have the YM's resources. We have obviously mine and Owen's company resources, which is how we're able to do this. But actually, it's quite difficult. But it's such an important skill in these days, because whether it's a community project or whether you're going into a business, to be able to have the knowledge to be able to go do a live stream or a podcast for marketing of a business is an amazing tool.
And especially with the modern world as well, with everything going on to the internet, everything's moving that direction. So to be able to do a live stream and your YouTube and everything like that it's almost a core skill. Like your ICT at school is a core skill now, because that's where the world's going.
That's it. And such an expensive one. So if we were able to provide that for young people who wouldn't be able to afford that, then that seems like a great project.
It's the way forward, isn't it?
It'd be amazing, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
it'd be amazing. I think it is. I think it is the way forward. Like, so many things are going digital, and will stay largely digital now. I think the whole culture will change around working from home and all this sort of stuff. And like you say, Owen, like podcasting and the kind of key marketing tools these days for companies and organisations. So, I think it'd be really, really fantastic, and something for the sort of young people to be excited about as well.
I think that's sort of a way forward in the YM, potentially, is some sort of radio podcasting workshops almost. It ties in nice with the 30. You've already got your equipment that you need, and it's just you can have it as a youth-led activity almost if you wanted.
Absolutely.
I think
but then it's trying to tie that in with existing sort of education providers as well, and see if we can create like a BTEC or get qualifications out of it too. Would be ideal, because I think at the moment younger people travel to Wakefield, or they travel to York to do sort of the backstage arts, or to do the all the technical stuff. But it'd be great to have something in Scarborough.
Yeah, definitely. It would.
The YM would be ideal.
It is the perfect place to start new dreams.
It is. It is.
It is. Anything else you want to ask, Liam?
Yeah, it's been an interesting conversation, and I hope our audience are finding it interesting, because I bet it's these are things probably they've never thought the YM did, or conversations they never realised that we had. A lot of things that people see on the public are usually the results, and how our shows or our sports activities or our community projects themselves, they probably don't realise how embedded the YM is in the community, and having yourself in different groups, and to be able to support them, and of course there's also support the supporters initiative or project, which I believe is still running, although it may be not at the moment. Those sort of things are how the YM helps, but maybe isn't as well known as our other activities.
Yeah, we're definitely less known for that stuff. Is some of it's newer to the organisation, and some of it's just not very well shouted about, which is my bad. But yeah, we're involved in all sorts of stuff. I mean, this week we've just started a project with Citizens Advice Bureau. So we did the interviews last week. We've recruited. We've got 2 people starting, a Polish lady and a Latvian lady, and they're going to be leading on community development for the Eastern European community. So they'll be working with Citizens Advice to do all the sort of all the advice. So helping people get into the European settled status scheme, all that sort of thing, helping people access all the things that people can access in this country for free. So how to sign your kids up to school, how you can do this, how you can do that. So they'll be doing that, but also we'll be trying to identify people within the Eastern European community and work around social cohesion. So getting starting activities, maybe everyone getting together and I don't know, might have like a movie night, could have like an Eastern European film screening and get lots of people from the community, and we can do all sorts of different things. And one of the people she teaches dance classes, so that might be great too. We might be able to have so a new like dance activity as well. So all that's going on as well. Just trying to work with the community. I mean, there's a huge Eastern European community in Scarborough, and we don't know how big yet. So the government thought for the settled status scheme, like they predicted a certain number, but we've already had 120% of that number, which shows there's more people here than when was first thought. So it's really positive that people are kind of going through that process and signing, getting on the scheme. But it also shows how many people are under the radar. So, there's always a perception in some quarters that people are here and that they're on benefits or they're costing the taxpayer and all this sort of stuff. But I mean, that statistic alone proves that it's not true. People are here, they're working really hard. They're contributing more to the taxpayer to the purse than a lot of sort of British nationals. So it's really interesting and really positive work.
Well, that's great. I'm glad that project's going. Obviously, I've been a little bit out of the loop. I'm glad that project's has taken off and has now got the staff resource that it needed. So we were going to change some of the signs around the YM to be polished to help our services that's come in. I know it's been a long night. We've been up for hours.
Yeah, you did well,
Liam. And that's something that we definitely can improve on at the YM anyway. Is the fact that we probably do have a large number of people where English isn't their first language could use the YM, and maybe our services and our reception and maybe our theatre don't necessarily cater for them. And if we can do a little bit to help them, it would seem a shame not to. Whether that's bilingual leaflets or anything like that, that would be great.
Yes. So part of that work will be trying to recruit volunteers as well. So we'll be trying to recruit volunteers from the Romanian community, from the Polish community, and hopefully they will support us in translating things like that, but other organisations too. So the whole town will hopefully become more accessible, more inclusive in that way, and it will have a greater sense of social cohesion. So yeah, it'd be really, really good.
Yeah, definitely. And of course, volunteering is quite a good way for non-English speakers to learn English. We had a lady who worked on reception for a bit, who most of our users probably never saw her, but she worked during the day and just worked with our receptionists and just picked up English via working on reception, working on the coffee bar, and just being submerged, for want of a better word, in the language in a way that is really useful. And of course, we're able to help, and obviously we value the resource as well. Being a majority volunteer organisation.
Yeah, it's a great way to learn, just getting thrown in like that. But I mean, this statistic might not be totally accurate, but I think at Friarage School, for example, which is obviously right next to the YM, I think the students are about 40% are non-native speakers. So they've got a huge amount. There's quite a lot of Italians. There's quite a lot of Polish. There's, people of kids of different nationalities. So it'd be great to if we can, because my background obviously is teaching English and teacher training. Like I'd be able to, if we can identify some volunteers, we'll be able to teach them how to teach English, and then we could have like after school clubs for the kids. We could like homework clubs, so they could come in, do a bit of the homework. There might be a couple of volunteers there to support them in anything that they can't do. It'd be a really cool, really vibrant way of engaging with the community. But a lot of everybody would get something out of it. The kids would benefit, the parents would benefit, the volunteers would benefit. It'd be a really positive experience.
Yeah, definitely, and the building community, which is, of course, what we're all about. When we talk about community,
exactly,
we're not talking about the the community we have. It's the community that surround us, the communities
Yeah.
in the town, and trying to bring them into our local remit. Of course, that's what our vision is to do that.
Yeah.
Of course,
Yeah.
those things are really important. I think a lot of our viewers are probably only exposed to the theatre side, and I think this has been a really interesting conversation for people to maybe see what else the YM could do. So if anybody does have any questions for Martin, please do put them in the comments. I know we've had Nicole say what we were saying would be amazing for Lime to do. I think that was in reference to the projects that you were saying when I gave you an unlimited amount of money, something that Steve would probably never be able to do.
Don't think we'll get that money anyway.
No, because he lives in the real world where we have to pay for things, unfortunately.
But there's opportunity. So at the moment, there's the town deal, the town centre strategy. So that's working towards trying to get a 10 million pot of money for Scarborough. There's also the town deal, which is trying to pull another 25 million pot of money into Scarborough. And both of those pots of money, there's a reasonable chance that they will happen. So, and the YM is a very well-loved organisation. It has great impact on the community. So there is opportunity for us, and that's something I'm doing a lot as well, like talking with other organisations, trying to put plans together between different organisations, trying to find different solutions, different ways of having these sort of multi-million-pound revamps of different things. So there is absolutely opportunity at the moment, but it's just trying to settle on the what. It's trying to pull it from the abstract into the tangible, if you like.
Yeah.
So it's interesting and challenging times.
Yes.
All food for thought.
Yeah.
So somebody's asked us, I think it's Alex Wood, has asked us, are you going to be tidying your garage during the lockdown?
I've done it. That was my achievement.
You seem to have been busy doing your garage.
You did.
Yeah. It's a good question. It's about as tidy as it's going to get, I think. It's I don't know what to do next with it, really, apart from throwing stuff away. But I've already thrown a lot away. It's difficult. I had to make space for my desk from works in here.
Yeah, we went into a.
That's what Liam for a lawnmower.
So I don't know if Owen asked you this at the beginning because I was busy doing some tech things at the beginning. But if you had to name one thing, what's your favourite thing about working for the YM?
I love the variety of people. I love the range of different things that go on in the organisation, and I love I love the enthusiasm that people have for the organisation. I think the staff team is incredible and really dedicated. So that's a real positive. Everyone's kind of behind what's going on. It's a real positive, lovely place to work.
Awesome. And you got to see me every day at YM as well, which is always a bonus, isn't it, Martin?
Yeah. I'll just come into that.
Happy days.
Yeah.
So, I think that's everything we wanted to ask you. Have you got anything you want to ask us or talk about before you leave?
No, I'm good. What's next for you then, Owen? What's happening now? What's the schedule?
What's the schedule? Well, we've got a bit of an hour, but we're not doing an awful lot planned. Hi, hello. We're going to probably show the TikToks again because everyone's put a lot of hard work and effort into them. And I'll play a game of some description. You might get to see a picture of me at some point as well.
Yeah, I've just put a picture of because I just thought it just came. It was just there, and I thought, well, we showed this at like 3 a.m. when nobody was on. So I think it's only fair that after this interview we show Owen where he started at the YM to where he is now.
Oh, epic! That's good. I thought you were going to say in speedos or something. So that's better.
No, that's the sight no one wants to see for definite.
No, there's a family show.
Not very budgie smugglers. Yeah, no, it's good. You're doing a cracking job, you two. It's really impressive. Really impressive.
Thank you for your time, Martin.
Good to see.
Cheers.
And the
Thank you very
TikToks are fabulous too.
Oh, awesome. That's what we like.
So, yeah, well done to everybody, and thank you. It's all really good.
Thank you very much.
Hopefully we'll get to see you all at the YM very, very soon.
So we'll
Yes, hope so.
leave you with a bit of music and this photograph.
This video has been part of the 24-hour live stream raising funds for the YMCA Scarborough. Please, please, please head over to ymcascarborough.uk to donate if you can. Please, it has helped so many people as the YMCA. It's going forwards, it's going upwards. We want it to get back on its feet, so please donate if you can. Put your hand in your pocket and support the YMCA.